Hello, welcome to episode 68 in the Datapack tutorial series, version 1.21. We're going to be executing a function where a mob dies. So, quite simply, if we have a mob, hello mob, and it dies, we will execute a function at that point. We're just going to set a block just to check that it's working. Okay, we're going to do it in a couple of different ways and we'll have a bit of a play around. Let's pop over to VS Code. And the first way we're going to do it is we're going to summon our mob and we're going to give it a passenger. So let's create some folders and files. So let's go into function and we'll have a new folder and we'll call this one marker. And in here we'll have a new file and we'll do a process def MC function. Let me just copy that MC function bit. Okay, and also inside marker we'll have a summon, so we can summon our mob. And we'll also have a new file and we'll call it tick marker. Okay, so that's going to be dealing with the marker dying, but we'll need a predicate for that as well. So in my namespace, let's have a new folder. And we'll call it Predicate. And inside Predicate, we'll have a new file and we'll call it has vehicle. So we'll be checking if the marker has a vehicle. That's all we'll need for the first one, I think. Although we will edit the tick function. Let's now set up some folders and files for a loot check. So let's get a new folder inside function, new folder, and we'll call this one loot. And in there, we're also going to have a process def. So remember, these are two different ways of doing a similar thing. Process def, and in there we'll also have a new file, and we'll call this one tick loot. Okay, what do we need for this? We'll also need a loot table. We're going to override the husks loot table. So if we go to the Minecraft namespace, and we'll add a folder in there, and we'll call that loot table, and then inside loot table we'll have another folder which we will call entities, and inside there we will have a file and we'll call it husk. Okay, now that should pretty much do. Let's close down everything we just created. Control KW. Oh, Control KW. There we go. Right, let's do the marker one first. So I think it's probably best to start with summoning the thing. Let's summon a husk at the coordinates. And let's, well, we'll make it silent true. Why not, for testing, so it's not growling at us all the time. And we'll give it a passenger. Passengers, we're going to have one passenger. It will be ID marker, Minecraft marker. And that marker will have a tag. Tags, open and close. It's going to have one tag. It's going to be called, what should we call it? Let's just call it mob marker. That will do. Okay, so we're going to have a husk and it's going to be walking around with a marker on its head. In fact, we could probably test that now. What we could do, right, if I press this button as usual, it's just running this reload command, reloading the data pack. Okay, I've got my little switch here. That is literally just displaying any marker. So let's function summon. There's my husk. Oh, he's definitely got a marker because I can see it glowing on his head. That's all this switch is doing, just so you know. If I turn that off, we've got no particles. There we go, let's turn it back on. Come back. Don't run away. Thank you. Right, obviously it's not doing anything yet, and our marker's still there. Ooh, we don't want that. So let's kill any entity whose type equals not a player. I don't advise you to run that command on your map if you're well into making the map, because obviously you're going to kill everything that's not a player. On this map it is just that marker, so that's safe. Okay, now we should do the tick function really. So in our main tick function, so we have here down in the Minecraft function, tick is calling my tick function. My tick function is going to call ID. It's going to call a function, and it's going to call the marker tick marker. Okay, tick loot is not working, and I can see why. It's because we just didn't give it a MC function extension. There we go. Okay, so tick is calling tick marker. Tick marker, what are we going to do? Well, we are going to need a predicate actually. So let's make a predicate first. Has vehicle. Should we pop over to misode for this? Why not? Misode, predicate. Okay, we'll need a condition. We're going to check the entity properties. Boom, the entity will be this, and the predicate will be vehicle. That's it. I'm not even going to say what type of vehicle. I just want to know if it's got a vehicle. So let's copy that. And we will take that back to VS Code, and we will pop it into our has vehicle. There we go. We'll save that. Now let's do the tick marker. So we will execute as any entity whose type equals Minecraft marker, whose tag equals mob marker, unless predicate has vehicle. So if it's got a vehicle, we're not going to do anything. If it doesn't have a vehicle, we'll keep going. At s run function marker process death. We'll save that. We'll close that. Let's go to process death. What do we want to do? Let's set a block. That's just something nice and simple. Set a block, and we can see that the marker was on his head, so I'm going to lift it down a bit. Now the problem with this is obviously mobs are different heights, so I'm just going to put -2 for the husk. But if it's something like a warden, so we've got a problem with this one already. We don't know what heights. And let's do an emerald block. And then we will kill the marker. In fact, actually, let's remove that -2 just so we can see what's happening. Okay. Let's go back. Let's do a reload. Let's summon the dude again. Hi, dude. And we'll kill him. Oh, there we go. So once he's fallen over, died, and vanished, then the vehicle has gone, and the marker that was sitting on his head has produced an emerald block. Okay, that's one way. Let's do a different way. Let's go back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this tick function, and I'm just going to comment out that one. So we're no longer processing the marker one. So let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Right, what do we want next? Well, we're going to want to do a loop table. Let's go into the tick function first for the whole data pack. And in here, we will function, and we'll do the tick loot. There we go. Tick loot is now being run. So that's running this one. Let's make our loot table, I think. Let's go off to misode. Let's go off to loot table. First, I think what we'll do is we'll just make our own. We'll override the husk one that's already there. Later on, we'll fix it so we join them together. For the moment, let's just override. So let's have a pool, and inside our pool, we'll have one role, and we'll have an entry, and our entry will be an item, and let's just drop a stone. Oh, there's a long list. Where's stone? Should it be quicker just to type stone, I should imagine. Let's just do that. There we go. Stone. In fact, let's use the namespace. Minecraft stone. Okay. Let's just copy that. Copy that. Take it across. Go to our Minecraft loot table entities husk. And let's pop that in there. Let's save that. Okay. Let's do a little check. So let's have a reload. And we'll use the egg. That's just going to summon a default husk. No markers or passengers or anything. And we'll kill you. Cool. You're dropping a stone. Exactly what we wanted. Okay. But we don't want to be executing a command at any old piece of stone. Because imagine you go stone mining. That's not going to work. So let's give this stone some custom data. So let's go off to our loot table, and we will look into functions. Here we have functions. Let's add a function. Our function will be to set some custom data, or set some custom data. Where are you? There you are. Do we want to set, or do we want to set a component? Set components. And then we'll set some custom data. Custom data, because we might want to set more things. I'm just going to set custom data, but you might want to set a name and stuff like that. You don't need to, because you're never going to see this thing. What components? Well, let's set custom data. Set it to a string. Let's say it's going to equal curly brackets, some speech marks there. Let's say check me equals true. That seems happy. Okay, let's just copy that. Let's take it back. Let's overwrite our old one. Save that. Off to Minecraft. Reload. Slap you down. Okay, we've still got our stone. Let's do a data get from an entity. Nearest entity whose type equals item. We can see custom data check me. Okay, so it's got the custom data on it, and it's actually stacked differently as well. It's not stacked with our other stone because it's got that extra component. Okay, let's go back to Misode. Now, can we change this from set components? Let's change it to just set custom data. And in here, let's set it to a string. Let's get rid of that old components. There we go. And let's set that string to what we had before. Okay, so we're just setting custom data this time. We're not setting all the components. Let's copy that. Take it back. Let's override this one. Let's save that. Let's go back to do some testing. Slap you. Okay, if we pick that up, it is stacked with the one we had before. Okay, so we can see there that setting components and then custom data is just the same as setting some custom data. Now, this one is acceptable for us because we don't need a name or anything. As I said, you're not even going to see this item. Okay, what about if we want to add some more conditions? Because at the moment, whenever the husk dies, kill any entity whose type equals husk. He's dropped his stone. Maybe let's do it so it only works if a player kills it. Let's add that condition. Let's pop over to Misode. Let's add a condition. Condition will be killed by player. We're done. Let's copy that. Let's take it back. Let's override our old loot table. Let's paste it in. Let's save. Back to Minecraft. Reload. Put it down. Let's run the command to kill it. No stone. That's a good start. Let's kill it ourselves. Stone. Cool. So now we've got an extra condition. But do you want every husk to be dropping stone? Maybe you've got a boss and the boss has a tag. So let's make a new condition. It has to be killed by a player, and the entity that dies, the husk that dies, has to have a tag. So let's add that as well. Let's pop back to Misode. Let's make another condition. And we'll say this one is going to be an NBT check. So it will be entity properties. The entity we'll be checking will be this, because we're running as the husk. Our predicate will be an NBT check. And in here, we want to check for open and close curlies. We're going to check for tags, open and close square. And we're going to check for, let's just say, my tag. Okay, how does that look over there? I think it looks all right. Let's copy it. Let's take it back. Let's override this one and see if it says, hey, I'm not happy. Seems okay. So we're going to be making an item. It's going to be stone. We're going to give it some custom data, but we're only going to be doing that if it's killed by a player and the husk had the my tag tag. Okay, let's save that. Let's go back. Let's do a reload. Let's summon one. Let's kill it. Didn't get anything. That's good. Let's kill it with a command. Didn't get anything. Let's tag it first. Tag any entity, type equals husk, add my tag. Okay, kill it with a command. Didn't get anything. Let's summon a new one. Let's tag it. Let's kill it ourselves. We got the item. Okay, so we are getting our item. That looks good. Now what we can do is we can execute a command at that item. So let's pop back. We'll leave the loot table open for now because we're going to copy that in a minute. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rename it for the moment. I'm going to press F2. I'm just going to call it husk mine. There we go, because that's my one. Right. So in our tick, we are running tick loot. In tick loot, we are going to execute as any entity whose type equals item if items entity that item contents equals anything, or we could put stone. I'm just going to say anything. It's custom data tilde not equals open and close curlies. Check me is, I think there's a spelling mistake there. Check me is true. At s run function loot process death. Save that. And then in loot process death, we will do the set block again. Set block. Should we set a different block this time? Redstone block. And we will kill the entity, which would be the stone we dropped. Save that. Let's pop back. Let's do a reload. Let's chuck you down. Let's tag you. Let's kill you. Let's go. Ooh, nothing happened. Why did nothing happen? Because we renamed the loot table. This is now overriding any entity called husk mine. Well, we don't have one called husk mine. So what we'll do, for now, we're just going to do a control, press the wrong buttons. We're going to do copy. And we'll set that back to husk. So we're now overriding the husk. Okay, so we've got 2 spare. Why do we have 2? Because we're going to take mine and add it to the actual original husks loot table. But let's test what we've got so far. Let's do a reload. Let's summon one. Let's tag it. Come back. Kill it. We got the redstone block. Cool. Okay, so it's working. But husk is no longer doing what he originally did. And what he originally did is actually a surprising amount. If we go over to Misode, and we'll just do reset to default on our loot table generator, and we'll look at presets up here in the top right corner, and we'll type in husk, and we'll go entities husk. It is quite surprising how much the husk is doing, or how little my internet is working for some reason. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Give me my preset, please. Husk, entities husk. Entity husk. Woof, there we go. Okay, the joys of having to use VPNs. So, this is the default table for the husk, and it's doing a lot of stuff. It was much longer than I expected when I first looked into this. So what we're going to do is we're just going to copy it. So we've used the preset, we've opened the preset, and we're just going to go down to the right and copy it. And I'm going to go to husk, and we're going to overwrite my one that I put in there. But one thing actually we'll look at, see where we've got pools here? Everything in here is one pool. And this is what we're going to add to the default table. So let's, first of all, paste in the default table. Bang. Okay, it's a big one. And let's go up. So here we have pools. And what we're going to do is we're going to add our pool as an extra one. Like this. And we'll put a comma there. So we've got our pool, and then everything below will be the default. Now it's not happy at the moment because we haven't put anything in there. So let's go to husk mine where we saved ours, and we'll get our pool, and we'll copy that. And then we'll go back to husk, and we'll just copy it over those brackets. Okay, so we've got all the original stuff, which we're not even going to look at, and we've added an extra pool on top. So it's going to do everything from the original one, and it's going to do our one. Let's save that, and let's fingers crossed, because took me quite a few minutes to fix that internet problem then, and so I'm all thrown off. I'm all befuddled. Let's execute. Execute. I was reading the sign. Let's reload. Okay, let's pop you down. I think we have to tag you, don't we? And let's give you a slap. Come back. Okay, now you definitely dropped your redstone block, but you didn't drop anything else. Now, is that just bad luck on our part, or is our loot table broken? You didn't drop anything else either. Why are you not dropping your normal things? Let's go back. Everything looks okay. We've got one pool, and then we've got the other pool. Okay, let's do a little test. Let's remove ours. Let's save that. Let's go back. Let's get a new one. Let's tag him. Let's slap him. Well, you dropped it that time, didn't you, you little pest? So why didn't you like it when I had my one in there? Husk mine. Copy the pool. Copy. Put you in there. Let's just check. You've got rolls 1, yeah? Well, you should have everything you need. Save. Reload. Is it a case that I didn't do reload? Because I was rather thrown off by that. Ah, okay. I don't think I did a reload, did I? Because it works now, and we haven't really made any changes. Let's tag it. Let's kill it. Yeah, okay. I think I just didn't do a reload. Thrown off by my VPN breaking. So, it's definitely working. Let's get rid of this stuff from our inventory. And we'll try one more. We summon him. We give him the tag. I have to kill it. I kill it. The stone is instantly replaced by a redstone block, and he's still dropping his normal drops. Okay. Now I'm going to have to go and look at this when I edit it. And hopefully it'll still make sense with that big break in the middle. Well, for you, it's going to be instant. But for me, it was quite a long break of wondering why on earth my VPN just suddenly stopped working. So hopefully I don't have to record it again, because I'm short on time as I usually am. Anyway, take care. Have a great day. And we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.